figured I'd kind of get started here and make a video because there's a lot of things going on in the UAP UFO world, and I've always been kind of fascinated by the subject, and I figured why not make a video while I change the strings on my acoustic guitar. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I don't really have a preference on strings, especially like acoustic. I mean, I do have my preferred brands for electric strings, but I never really play acoustic around town. But I'm starting to play. I've kind of made into a kind of like goal for 2025 to play more often acoustically around town, especially here around the area where I live. And this Friday I have a gig with a good friend of mine, so I figured I'm gonna change the strings, get some new strings in there, get it sounding nice and bright. Especially these strings over here, I'm gonna be using the Diodario's phosphor bronze. Heard these are pretty good. These are kind of give that brightness that I kind of look for. These are light gauges. Because I haven't been able to play acoustic very often, my fingers still kind of get used to being calloused from these thicker strings. I've been playing forever, but I play in the 90s grunge tribute called Seattle Rising. We have an album that we put out and mainly play on these guitars that are over here that you really can't really see right now because this is what the focus is today. But while I changed these strings, I figured I'd talk about, guitars and aliens. My wife just burned some pizza. But anyways, I had to go, actually, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I had to make sure that these mics were working. I bought the DJI mic a while back, and I used to do like Comic-Cons and stuff, and I don't do that anymore, but I used to go and interview actors and this whatnot. I used to have a channel that did like reactions on YouTube and all this, but don't have much of that time anymore. But again, I figured if I'm gonna be changing the strings on my guitar, I usually talk to myself anyways, so why not just record myself talking and put it up on YouTube, and maybe, and just maybe, we can have a cool conversation. All right, well, so this whole UFO thing, I don't know, I'm kind of like, if it's true, then cool. If it isn't, then it's more like, oh, I don't care. It's more like, if it's not UFOs, then what the hell is it? I don't know if I'm comfortable with these things just kind of flying around and nobody knows they are. Because if they are ours, then does that affect, national security and all this? It kind of goes into sort of territory that just really goes above my head and beyond things. But, I also think that the public should know exactly what's going on, because there's so much stigma that's been, so much stigma around it that's been going on forever that really sort of not prohibits, but really sort of prevents any real type of advancement or progress, really, into what this whole damn thing actually is. And by the way, Fret 12 makes these really cool string things. I got that on the Fret 12 website, and every time I change strings on guitar, you kind of thread the strings. You thread the strings through there, and you just kind of create this monster looking thing, and this is called the string thing. So anyways, pretty cool. Go check it out. Not an affiliate link, nothing like that. If you buy this, I'm not gonna make any money of it. It's just really cool, and I bought it. I pre-ordered it, and I haven't really changed enough strings to get the big guy right there going. So maybe when I'm done changing these strings, I'm actually just gonna put them right here. When I'm done changing the strings, we can maybe thread one or two onto string thing there. Here we go again. All right, what's going on here? How many? Are these two different string packs? Oh, sweet. See, this is how often I change my acoustic strings, because I didn't even know I had enough for two different string changes here. Oh, hell yeah. Well, because, it only says, it only says 3-pack right there in the box. you dumbass. So anyways, I guess if you clicked on this video, your interests are either guitars or aliens or, you know, both like me. And if you are a alien nerd like me, you've probably been aware of the whole egg-shaped UFO that they released, not UFO, the UAP. They released a couple of days ago on News Nation, which, you know, for a lack of knowledge, I guess, I didn't really know that News Nation was like a legit news outlet. So at first when I started listening, you know, News Nation's coming out with the whistleblower and David Grush and this and that. And I honestly had no idea. I thought it was satire. I had no idea that they were actually like a legit News Nation, a news channel. But you know, but I guess after all of this, they are, and I've been keeping up with it. I've been keeping up with Ross and all the reporting that he's been doing on UAPs and UFOs. And this latest one, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of crazy. Then again, it's one of those things with UAPs and UFOs where the footage is not always the greatest. The footage is always blurry, or, you know, but this one, it seems like it's kind of like night vision of some sort, and kind of corroborates with what the whistleblower has been saying, and people have done, you know, correcting the image and sort of adding some color to it and adding contrast, and you can kind of see where the retrieval of this UAP took place. And at first glance, you can kind of see that it's been, it was retrieved like in a snow-like environment, which is, you know, pretty interesting. I guess it crashed in the snow, and again, it crashed in the snow. How did it get there? And by the way, this is being tuned to E half step down, for those of you that care. But, you know, again, people did the imaging thing and it looks like it came from the snow, and the retrieval happened in the snow, and then the people that work on the retrieval, they all had some sort of chemical burns or radiation burn from this thing, which is, again, is all fine and dandy, but I need to know more. I want to know more. How many of these has he done? How many of these the U.S. government have? Is this egg-shaped UFO, is this kind of sort of like the thing that the Navy's been catching on their radars for I don't know how many years? So all of this would be useful information to know. I just don't know if they're willing or they're ready to kind of give us all that information yet. Plus, can the people that participated in this retrieval, can they also come out and give their testimony? Are they being vetted by the whistleblower protection? Are they going to come forward? These are all really important questions and need to be answered, that without them, I just don't know how this kind of moves forward. Are they going to have a hearing? Are these people going to be in the hearing? I don't know, man. Whatever it is that you believe, I guess, in the end, whether you think this whole alien thing is stupid, whether you don't believe in it, whether, you know, you're more of a creationist, and that's okay. I mean, I'm not saying that one thing is, you know, the correct, whether you believe in evolution or creationist. So that kind of gets into the whole religion subject, and that perhaps could be a theme for another video. But I just, you know, I feel like the public is ready. I mean, how long has these conversations have been going on? You know, all of these talks, and again, for the longest time, it's always been kind of seen with scrutiny and kind of like, oh, you're the UFO guy, or you like UFOs, oh, you're fucking weirdo. And that gets kind of old. And I was just really frustrated, you know, with the whole, in the beginning when I heard of David Grush, I was like, what is this guy on about? You know, yeah, right, you worked on this, okay, yeah, right, give me a break. You know, but then he came out, and then other people came out, and then, you know, whistleblower protection programs have been created to protect these people. So, you know, I want to believe, because I feel like if it was true, it would raise a lot of questions, a lot of relevant questions, such as, where do they come from? Who are they? What are they made of? Do they need, you know, basic things like oxygen, like human beings, to breathe and survive out there. And if they don't, then what happened in their evolutionary chain, or, how did they come about? Did something created them? Did somebody created them? Or was it natural? Was it, that's a lot of important questions. Questions that I feel that us as human beings have the right to know. No, I don't play with the basketball there. Where's my fucking pen? Where'd my pen go? What in the hell? Where did it go? Where'd the pen go? Where'd the pen go? Where did the pen fucking go? Where did the stupid little pen go? The stupid pen. I feel like this pen is just around here and I'm being a big idiot. I've been under this damn thing the entire time. And I even lost my train of thought, man. I don't even know what the freak I was talking about. Oh, yes, of course, human rights. I feel like it's our human right to know about these things, because I feel like it would, see, that's the thing. Would it answer a lot of questions, or would it just raise more questions? Because I feel like both can be true. It would answer some questions, and it would also raise a whole lot more questions. Like, can they communicate? And if they can, holy crap, right? If they can communicate, then holy shit. Then we can ask them these questions. We can ask them about questions about the universe. We can ask them questions about how it all created, if they know, because if they can get here, then surely they know the answer to these questions. Or they've been here all along. Maybe they're from here. Maybe, just maybe, they live in the ocean. Or maybe they are trans-medium. Maybe they can move in and out of different dimensions, or maybe they can, there, I answered my own questions. If it's for real, it doesn't really answer any questions. It just gives us more to think about. But I feel like in our lifetime, we're bound to know. We're bound to find out, This has been going on for such a long time that we're bound to find out sooner or later. Just look at all the advancements that we've had as humans in technology and other things, that I feel like those kinds of questions will be answered here pretty soon. It's been pretty cold here as of lately, and it would really, really help me out if you can press on the like button and subscribe. Especially if you got in here so far, right? I mean, I've been talking to you for a few minutes now, and if you're still here, that means you're either probably intrigued or you're just really dumbfounded by just how dumb I am. But either way, you're still here, so might as well just drop a like. And I debated, do I go into this with like a script? Do I go into this unscripted and just shoot the shit? Do I just, different scenarios kind of popped in my head. I just figured, when I go into a conversation with my friends, I don't really have it scripted. And if you do, you're a psycho. So I figured if this is just a talk between friends, then no script. So if I'm rambling, I'm sorry. It's just, this has been pretty off the hip here. I'm just spraying. Drop the string down here. There, I'm back. This little guitar bench that I got here, this is actually a nursing cart. My day job, I work in the medical field. This is a nursing cart that they were not give it away, they were going to throw it away. They're actually begging for somebody to come over and take it from one of the offices because it was just in the way, believe it or not. And I mean, it's not a brand new nursing cart by all means, and it's not like a like in super good shape, but there are drawers on both sides. There's a lockbox. There's plenty of compartments here, and this is where I've been placing all my strings and all that. So a little section here that's a little broken, but really, if I were to buy something like this, I mean, it would literally cost me hundreds of dollars. like a good card will probably cost me, I don't know, $300 or $400. So all it cost me was an evening and sore muscles, and I feel like that's a win, especially for what I got, because this little workbench here is really saving my ass, because I had a huge issue. I don't know about you guys, and I guess guitar players in general, we might have issues with storage. I don't know where the hell we're gonna store our strings. Like, you might have like a little drawer here and there, but a dedicated place to put all these things in, you know, a dedicated place to put your strings, a dedicated place to put, you know, cables or microphones or mic clips, or it really is a godsend. And speaking of God, do you guys think if aliens are real, does that disprove the existence of a higher power, aka God or creator? Or do you guys think that not only does it prove it, but it expands on the definition of God? Because I feel like it can go either way, to be honest. It can go either way. Because I kind of feel like creationists, in a way, would be scared. I don't know if scared is the right word, I guess. Maybe less willing to admit the existence, because that might, in a way, in one way or another, challenge creationism. But what if it doesn't? What if we find out from them that we're created by the same being, right? Which could just be a motherboard on some alien teenager's basement that is simulating this whole thing. Or it could be, you know, divine creator. So, in your opinion, would the existence of aliens be disprove or challenge creationism, or would it expand on it? I feel like that's an interesting topic to talk about. Whew, this string is stuck in here. I'm just gonna cut it right here. Other cool thing about this nursing cart is on the side I have a little spot for a trash can. It's the little things, you know. It's the little things. And a question for the music guys: what's your preferred tuning? Implying, I honestly, I don't know if I have a preferred tuning, to be quite honest with you. Although I do like half step down a lot, either in E or drop D. I think just half step anything. So open D and drop that half step. I like that a lot. I feel like it's a little bit easier on my vocals as well. I like to sing, especially when I sing stuff like Alice in Chains, that is in that tuning. You know, it helps my voice a lot. I don't have to strain as much, and I think when you're writing, you have to step down. At least for me, kind of unlocks creativity for me. It just feels like a tuning that I feel very comfortable working with. You know, I have songs in just about every major tuning, if you want to call it quote unquote major tunings. I don't know if such thing even exists, but I do love me some drop C stuff too. I love drop C tuning. D standard tuning. You know, this goddamn B string, for some reason, it's always my least favorite to change. Why? I don't fucking know. But I do not like it. Yeah, I think I already fucked this one up. There you go. As I cut circulation off my fingers trying to hold that damn string together. Anybody else kind of find this therapeutic in a way? Just sitting here changing strings. The sound of this just kind of one way, just very soothing. There you go. And I'm very surprised that I haven't clipped my own finger with these strings. I'm notorious for clipping my fingers and making puncture holes with these strings. If I was diabetic, it would have been great, because I would just check my blood sugar every time I change strings. But I'm not, and it just becomes annoying. As I change electric guitar strings too, maybe I'll just play a song here and there, show you guys some of my chops, which aren't many. They're nothing special. Speaking of nothing special, why the hell haven't we explored the bottom of our ocean more? As if it isn't special, because it is very special. And I feel like if there's a place to hide, it'd be down there. I don't remember exactly where I saw this, but I do remember seeing this. And I remember these marine biologists that study whales. They for recording the sound of the cries of the whales, trying to figure out if there's like a dialect or something. And they found out that the whales, were communicating with each other, blah, 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 yada, yada. And the way that they would do that would be by measuring sound waves. And put them like on a wave spectrum, and you can see that this whale does this kind of sound wave, and this particular whale does this, and it's kind of measured by how big the whale is too, because the larger the whale, the larger the frequency of the hum, or when they talk. I know for sure I'm butchering the results of this, but I know that it was something like, whatever the largest whale it was, the sound frequency of whatever this thing that they found, it was much larger than the largest whale that we got in our ocean. And I haven't heard anything since, anything that kind of follow up to that study. I don't know if there's a follow up to that study, but I know that that's what they found. And since then, it kind of left me puzzled. Like, is it like just a prehistoric, sort of a prehistoric aquatic animal, or is it something else, And now with, all of this talk of the UAP coming out of the ocean, and, the drones over New Jersey or whatever, they see people going in and out of the oceans. If it's true, I still don't know for sure how true that statement is, but it made me think, what if these sound waves are the waves from the ships or whatever, things that they're piloting or whatever the hell? Because in the case of the egg, it looked like it could be this unmanned, there's no driver. And that also goes back to, is this thing in one way, is it being piloted? Is it connected to something? There's a lot of talk recently about remote viewing and all this crap, which it's a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard thing to believe. I need proof to believe that. But it's crazy, man. I feel like the subject has been evolving over the last few years, and with everybody coming kind of in one way or another clean, I guess, if you want to say, whistleblowers and all that, and the hearings in Congress. We need more. We need more to know for sure. Not even for sure, just to know a little bit more about what's going on. Snip, 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 which is perhaps something I should do to myself, so I don't have any more kids. Nice and bright. Make sure I play it a little bit more. This is the Martin Macassar, I think from 2016, 2015, somewhere around there. I really love this guitar. I've always was on a Taylor as well. One day I'll buy myself a Taylor. Here's a little retuning. Leave a like, subscribe, and see you on the next one, maybe.